Good morning. It's a Friday, which is the best, and it's also super nice out today. It's supposed to be like 75, sunny. Way better than like 95 and humid and rain. So thank you, Jesus, for the day. Let's get into the video. Here are all of our cabinet parts. They're all numbered. So we need to get them over there. We need to start organizing them all. And we have to start putting them all together for our white oak kitchen remodel. I have to go measure for a brand new kitchen, another remodel. Brand new cabinets everywhere. And then Jacob and Brandon are going to be here. And they're going to be the ones putting together those cabinet shelves. So when I get back, hopefully we can put on these face frames that are sitting right here. They're all sitting right here, stained. Let's turn this oven on. Lights, camera, action. All right, let's see what we got to do here. It's not really too complicated. Let it load up a minute. Perfect. Perfect. That guy's good to go. So, yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I'd like to get the shells put together and the face frames on today. Not sure what else we'll get into. We might also cut the side panels to skins, 1/4 inch white oak, grain going vertical to match the doors. So that might be the other thing. But I'm going to get the shop set up and go measure while the boys are putting together those cabinet shelves. I just got back from measuring a pretty decent sized kitchen, which is amazing. It's going to be all alabaster, made from beech material. It's going to look really, really good. First, I unloaded more white oak paneling out of the van, and then got that van put back. Over here is toe kick that Brandon cut out. They're going to start clear coating all of this on this nice big homemade rack that we use to spray the drawer boxes now. It actually works. It looks terrible, and I get that, but it works really well. We had two kind of junky racks. Cut the top off, and then screwed boards on. Again, it looks terrible, and I know that, but it works and functions amazing. That's all I need it for. So we spray all of our trim so it can lay flat in the spray booth, right to the oven. So drawer boxes for this white oak kitchen remodel are complete. They came out really nice looking. Love how those look. So those are done. And Brandon and Jacob also started putting on our white oak face frames for our white oak kitchen remodel. They got a bunch of cabinet shelves all put together and a bunch of face frames onto all of the cabinets. So I really appreciate that. Here's more cabinet shelves, all labeled, measured. I'm gonna start dealing with these while Brandon's putting on doors and just keep making headway. I was going to start putting on face frames onto our cabinet shelves here, but I think I want to get the lowers, or not the lowers, excuse me, the uppers for the most part done. So that means I'm going to put the bottom skins on or side panels on so it hides all the Craig jigs. I want to get that done right now. And what I'm working on is the microwave cabinet, which I'm packing out to hold the weight or help hold the weight of the microwave. And the comments hate that I do this for whatever reason. But I think it's necessary. Well, it may not be necessary, but I think it's a good thing to do. We build custom cabinets. I try to think of stuff like this. The weight of the microwave is being held by the cabinet. It's not being held by the bracket on the back. The bracket on the back, just hold, back it on the back, holy cow. Just allow, or doesn't allow the microwave to tip out. Where the weight of the microwave is actually being held up by the cabinet. So I want to make sure everything is super thick and super sturdy. There we go. There's a 3/4 inch piece. And then I'll put our 1/4 inch skin on that. I'll contact cement everything, making sure it fits. And I'll brad nail everything. So everything is glued like a sandwich and cannot come apart when we go to drill it to help install the microwave for the client. Typically we do that. I kind of hate doing that, really. I don't like touching people's appliances. But a lot of times we help them drill because we have the hole saws, we have the correct drill bits. So a lot of times we do this for the client. They appreciate it, so we do it. I'm going to contact cement this. Because I don't want to just rely on brad nails, and I don't want to just rely on contact cement. I want it to all be sandwiched in. Got that right there. Get a nice good amount of contact cement. You don't want to go too heavy, but you don't want to go too light. Kind of a trick, really. I'll let that set up. Go grab our 1/4 inch bottom skin material right here. That's our MDF. This is our 1/4 inch bottom, UV protected. This side is not UV'd, but the other side is. If I can get it out of our cart. Holy smokes, that was way too heavy. There we go. Hi ho, I ho. It's off to cut our bottom panels we go. Kind of the song I'm singing right now in my head. Oofta, there we go. That's the 1/4 inch bottom material that we use to cover all of our crags. Tape measure, I want to double check this before I just start cutting blindly. That would be dumb. 10.5, love that for us. Send this thing in. Hate when we use this table as a workstation, you know? And now I gotta come through and move stuff. But I get it. There we go. Okay. I will need that guy anyway, that brad nailer. Okay. 1, 2. Kangaroo. Make sure we're up against the fence. We are. I don't want a veritable rip. I'm going to increase it in width ever so slightly. Cut one more here. Okay, that's good now. Shut that off. And cut out our 28.5 inch piece right here. That all looks wonderful. Bingo. Okay, now that's almost dry, so that's perfect. Shove that in there like that. Love that for us. Make sure we're contacted everywhere. Okay. Fine and dandy. Now, we'll do the same thing here. I didn't test that this fit, so we're about to see. It's the same measurements as the other one, just slightly bigger. You can't bend this in, but you can kind of bend this in. It's only 1/4 inch. I knew the 3/4 was not going to have any tolerance because it's thick, boy. Get that on there. There we go. And I am going to brad nail it. I will have to putty the holes, but I wouldn't really have to putty the holes, but I'm going to brad nail it because I want everything again to be a sandwich. So that way when we go to drill it, it's all together. Look at that putty right there. Love that. A little color match putty for us, huh? Get my coffee. I'm zooming around this warehouse. Brandon's over there sanding some other doors. How does that feel? Not there yet. It's close. It's darn close. Where'd my That's not good. I had a board with all my measurements on it. You can't make this up. I have a really bad habit of setting something down to go do 8 million things like I'm always trying to do, because there's 8 million things to do. And you can't find your board, or you can't find anything that you need. Threw it away. I love that for us. Okay, so this one's done. We have a 40.5. This big boy. There's one. 40.5 by 10. The other 40.5 is a 22.5, so I don't need to worry about that right now. What's this gonna be? Alright, we can use it. Love that for us. And then once I cut this last, or this one, I'll go over there and I'll just double check that we got, or that we can put that on. Come on, saw, stop blinking at me. So this is number 1. This one's number 3. Okay. See if this is cooked enough. Oh yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, like a glove, dude. This is phenomenal. Right there. Love that. Perfectly flush. Love that for us so much. Love that. Okay. Now I'll brad nail that, and then I'll continue putting on our bottom panels with just contact cement, because we're not drilling through them or anything crazy like that. And then yeah, we'll go from there, and we're going to double check all these measurements. I think we'll even make sure that the shelves fit, and then we'll set all the cabinets over there, and we'll start working on the lowers. Jacob and I got all the bottom panels on. They're all super tight. We're double checking the cabinets. We found one shelf that was wrong, another shelf that was wrong. So I would double check everything, because I don't know why they're wrong, but they're definitely wrong. Definitely incorrect. So hate to get to the job site and be like, oh, now we have an issue. If they're too big, you know, then you can just chop it down, but they were too small, by like 1 inch, and that is no good. I'm gonna get this one all edge banded up, and then when Jacob's done cutting that, we'll get that one all edge banded up. Not using the edge bander because hopefully it's just these two, and I'm not firing it up for these two. Trim off our sides here. Again, these are all for our white oak kitchen remodel. I mean, you can't make that up, can you? Whatever. We're gonna keep that board over there though, just in case there's more that are incorrect. I don't think in all of history that for 5 or 6 years that we've been making cabinets, we've ever cut shelves too small. And I'm not lying. They're always, if anything, like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch too big, and we just trim them down when we're double checking. But for whatever reason, they're like, I don't know, 3/4 to 1 inch too small, which is no good. Won't work. Wish it would, but it won't. Gotta be careful, don't want to burn my hand. Yeah, that sucker should be good. Typically, I should be letting this sit for a minute so it doesn't gum up my blade, but I'm not. I'm going right through with the trim. Oh yeah, I love that for us. Yeah, you can tell it kind of gummed up the blade right there. But it's time for a new blade anyway, quite honestly, so not too worried about it. Okay, and then that side's coming apart a little bit, so I need to go back through and put a little bit more ironing on that thing. Then I'll sand it, clean it up, Make it look perfect. You want to cut a piece of banding for it. Then I'll go test this out once I get it sanded. I'll label it, double check number 6 cabinet wise, and then I'll start wrapping all these, wrapping them up, you know what I mean? Hopefully it's just these 2. We did know from the beginning that this one was incorrect. The other 2 were fine, but for this cabinet, but this 3rd one was not. But I did not know that big boy was incorrect. It's kind of sad. But we can reuse it for another shelf because it's 22.5 deep. So we can cut it down for the 10.5s, or we could reuse it for another 22.5. It's a super wide cabinet, so typically it's for a fridge cabinet, and they're typically not. I think it's like 42 inches wide because there's some fillers and stuff going, or panels going around it. But typically fridge cabinets I make 37 wide. Leaves a little bit of room for the fridge to breathe, and still makes it nice and tight. Looks good. Just the measurement I found that works for us. Not saying it'll work for you, but it works for us. A lot of the ones I see, like from the big box stores, are 36, and I just think it's too tight. So I go 37, let the fridge breathe. I'd leave it out. Well, I mean, I'd just leave it right there. It's halfway, it's easy to put back, or it's easy to grab. In reality, we can use that 22.5, and then we don't even have to edge band. But you can edge band that sucker. Here, I can get out of your way. Trying to get this glue off here. I cut it down too quickly. There we go. Looks perfecto. Okay, back at it now. Let's label this guy. Number 6. That way when we get to the job site, we know where number 6 is. We're just able to let it eat. Oh, that's what we wanted right there. It's super dusty, but like a little bit of an 1/8 of an inch total. So a 1/16 on each side of movement. Super thick shelving. Love that for us, and love that for our client. Got to zoom way over here. Grab our plastic wrap. Jacob and I were talking. It gets a little chaotic because there's so many moving parts here right now. Between the spring and the oven and the building and the doors and the drawer boxes and the cabinets and the face frames and the trim and this and that and all the side panels, and it's just, there's a lot of moving parts. We do everything in-house, which is nice because you can control it, but also kind of sucks because you have to do it, you know? Okay, what am I looking for here? Hear that tapey? Love it, found it. Start clearing this out of here. This weekend I'm gonna be up here, and I was gone measuring, so I don't exactly know. I mean, I know, but I'm kind of a control freak, so I like to really know exactly where everything is. 42 tall, 19 right on the dot, wide, 12 deep, half inch, number 6, half inch, 19, 42. Our top is 2.5, and we have shelf holes, 3 of them, or 3 sets of them. Love that for us. Now we can move this sucker over yonder. I'm gonna move that pile, and I'm gonna set all these cabinets right here. Even with the dust collector, the CNC loves making dust. We gotta get the dust collector hooked up better for it, but we not just moved, but we sort of moved not that long ago. Everything just isn't, I mean, it's set up a lot better than it was, but it's not exactly there yet. Luckily for this job, at least, I'm able to set the cabinets on the top because they're going to the ceiling, and you'll never see them, so I'm not worried about them getting scratched. Otherwise, I'd lay cardboard down and take a bunch of precautionary measures, but and where the tops, I mean, not like the very top, not the front of the face frame, but the top of it. Okay, I'm done. Number 6, and come, I don't know exactly. I'm gonna lay it out in the orientation of the house. So that way when I go to measure for doors, everything is just set how we want it. All right, next, microwave shelf. So I made the dumb decision of, something fell over there, don't love that, of wrapping some of these when I shouldn't have, because we hadn't tested the shelves, and there's obviously a reason that we test the shelves. Hopefully this one fits. I might lose my cool. Yep, love it. Perfect. Good work. So number 5, perfect there. Number 5's right here. So it should be a 30. 30 right on the dot. 27 tall. 27 tall. Quarter and a quarter, because there's no skins. And then 12 deep. Pack out bottom. Top is 2.5. Love that. So now this guy right here is completed. Shelves are done. Cabinet's done. I don't know what's going on over there. It's bugging me out. So 1, 2, then corner. Okay. Oh, with that pack out, it's a heavy boy. So, really, it starts over there, it's gonna come over here. So number 6 needs to come this way. Ooh, that way. So there's that one. Number 6. Okay. That'll work. Alrighty. This is what Jacob and I are doing now for a little while, testing shelves, double checking everything. Once that's completed, we'll see what time it is, and we're going to start datoing out face frames for the lowers. Jacob and I are now working on the lowers, getting the face frames on. I just datoed this one out. 1/2 inch on this side because there's a side panel, so end at a quarter. 1/4 inch on this side because there's no side panel. Getting them all in there. How's this pantry cabinet going? It's only like 9 1/4 deep.
Coming together.
Makes it awkwardly tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
What we might have to do here, we may have to brad nail this. And that's, is it flush up top there? Well, that's a little bit off. It needs to come up. Yep. Hold on. Move whatever that is. Yeah, it definitely needs to come up, Jiggy. Unscrew it, and then move it up, I guess. I'm gonna get this next one going here. Number 13, stack to the right of the dishwasher. Okay, it's a 4 stack. Try to get our helmet on here. If I remember correctly, this one's a bit odd because looking for a tape measure. There's going to be a panel that goes next to it. So I wanted to make it flush. What number again is this? Number 13, right of the dish. Yep. Number 13, right of the dish. Quarter, I'll transfer that quarter over here, so it's a 1/2. And then 0, because there is a side panel on that side. Go 1/2 left and 0 on right. Find our top here. 5 inches, love that. Okay, so 1/2 inch this way. I made these 1 1/4 wide instead of 1 1/2 because It's already a small cabinet. They wanted drawer boxes, a stack. I wanted to give them even an extra ½ inch of room for their drawer boxes. The drawer boxes are 5/8 of an inch thick, so by giving them an extra ½ inch, it almost deletes one side of the drawer box for the thickness, and it adds that back in and just makes a little bit more room for them. If they're going to spend the money on the drawer boxes, I want them to be able to have as much room as possible. Just like that. And then in theory, if I did that correctly, should go just like that. That way now the side panel can come. It's a big applied panel. They didn't Craig jig this. You guys are kidding me. Come on, guys. Well, that's fine. But now the panel can go right to here. We can screw it from the inside and it'll be perfect. And then the side panel, a normal side panel, a skin will go right here, but the applied panel that matches the doors can come right to there. So that guy works, that guy's perfect. Move on to the next one here. That's all we're doing here for quite a while. Once these are complete, I don't know if we'll complete them today, but if not, this is what I will be working on this weekend. A whole bunch of the lowers pretty much finished from the standpoint of putting the face frames on. Jacob's cutting 2 more pieces of toe kick because the CNC didn't cut them the greatest. And I'm over here putting on our face frames that are dadoed out and glued. And then I'm screwing them all in. Push that down a little bit. There we go. Love that. I'll come through here, do the same. Right through there. We'll get the tops all in. We'll go down and we'll button out the field here. And these are white oak kitchen remodels cabinets. Nice white oak. That's so smooth. Clear coated. Clear coated about 4 times. Stain underneath it. Sent through the oven. Everything's cured out properly all the way through. That's what the oven does. It doesn't just dry the surface, it penetrates with the heat all the way through, so it actually cures the product out. So it makes it as durable as possible. Which is nice for transport and install. And then longevity of the cabinets while they're in your home. Using this drill driver, it's nice because it gets into these Craigs really easily without having to use a super long bit. Turn this guy around here. Jacob's brad nailing on the toe kick. Those boards are the only boards, the toe kick and then the runners up top are the 2 boards that we nail on with glue as well, because the screws sometimes tend to pop the grain or the plies of the plywood. So I do not like to screw those in. The top runners are just there to square up the cabinet. No real structural support there. And then the toe kick backing is just there so we have a place to nail on the finished toe kick. But anything that is structural is dado, glued, screwed. Get this cabinet done. This goes into a blind corner, so the face frame is 4.5 inches wide. That way it can get the other cabinet with the drawer front out of there, so the drawer front doesn't hit a handle or doesn't hit another drawer front if it's pulled out. It's another one and another one there. Applied panel is going to go here, that's why it's perfectly flush. Same thing with this guy right here, perfectly flush for applied panels that match the doors. And this guy right here is our blind corner cabinet. Big boy, big boy. 36 inches wide the face frame, another 24 inch deep. and it's actually the sink that butts into it. So another 4.5 here, 4.5 here. So when you open this, the drawer front that sticks out with the handle, nothing hits it, nothing's in the way. Don't want anything to hit, don't want anything to bang. I'm gonna get that blind corner face frame on, and then see what else we got. I have to build out this entire blind corner area, and then there's another cabinet that sits here on this side of the peninsula, and I have to cut out the back, cut out the side of this, and then there's gonna be pull outs for the client as well. So I'll have to deal with that tomorrow or Sunday probably. The side panels are now stained clear coated, sent through the oven. I'm going to put those on tomorrow, I think. And then we have most of the cabinets. There's a blind corner. What else? An upper pantry, a Lazy Susan, and an actual upper corner cabinet we have to make. So there's 4. But for the most part, these cabinets are ready to be measured. Once I put the skins on, we'll install the drawer boxes, measure for the doors. And then I think that's about it for these. We got to make sure they're all clean, dusted out. That being said, busy day. Cabinet shelves got put together by Brandon and Jacob. Base frames got put on. Double checked all the measurements. Double checked the shelves. Fixed a few of the shelves. I measured. And now the guys are over there building doors for another project. So if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe, check us out on our website. Check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, and obviously on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.